I just reread it, so I've been doing a lot of breakdowns about this versus Welcome to Derry, and some people are asking what each tab is for, so let me tell you. So I read it already. This was probably back in 2017 after the first movie came out. That's why it has this cover, because this was a special edition for the movie. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a massive Stephen King fan, as you can see, but this is the only book of his that I've ever truly had trouble getting through, and I'm not even really crazy about it. But with it, Welcome to Derry coming out, I know there was a lot of lore that I was missing because I simply forgot about it, so I decided to reread it again. The first time took me 3 months. Like, I dragged my ass through this book. The second time took me about a week and a half, 2 weeks, so much easier. But I have 9 different colored tabs, and each of them represent something different. The green tabs, which you will see there are a lot, mostly at the end, these are to represent anything about the turtle. If you're not familiar with the book, when the losers have their first battle with it when they're kids, they go into its lair, and Bill slips into the void, and that's where he meets this giant turtle. The turtle's name is Maturin. It's actually not even named in this book. It's named in the Dark Tower series, but basically it's the creator of the universe, and it talks to Bill and kind of gives him the inspiration that he needs and the encouragement that he needs to defeat it. But the turtle is a massive part of this story, and that's why in It, Welcome to Derry, we've seen all these references to turtles here and there. We see that in It 2017 too. So green is anything about the turtle. You'll see some red tabs in here. That's to mark any mention of Bob Gray, which Bob Gray is Mrs. Kirsch's father. Basically, Bob Gray becomes Pennywise, and there are multiple times in this book where he introduces himself as Bob Gray. Like, he introduces himself to Georgie as Bob Gray. I also used red to mark any time that they mention anything about what it is. So anytime he refers to himself as like the Eater of Worlds or talks about how he's the last of a dying race, that's all in red. I used pink to mark any place where I put a post-it note because there were some notes that I took in here, just kind of miscellaneous stuff, but you can see there's a bunch of them. Used orange to mark anywhere where they talk about how it is the town of Derry, because it is so much bigger than just this like interdimensional creature. It has basically tainted the whole town of Derry. So anytime where like the kids are being bullied and the adults just simply move on and don't pay attention. Like, there's a part in here where Mike Hanlon as an adult is talking to some other old timers from Derry and talking about the cycles, and they're like, oh yeah, but we don't talk about the cycle. So they all kind of just ignore what's actually going on, even though everybody knows. And that's just simply because it has tainted the town of Derry. And in fact, when the losers as adults defeat it permanently, the town of Derry literally collapses in on itself. Like, a bunch of people die, it just goes to shit. Now, I knew that It, Welcome to Derry was going to focus on the 3 big disasters that happened in this book. So the Black Spot, the Ironworks explosion, and the Bradley Gang shootout. So I have 3 different colors for that. So yellow is the Ironworks, one of the blue ones is the Black Spot disaster, and purple is the Bradley Gang shootout. There's 3 different blues, and they all look the same on here, but they actually are different. But one of the other blues represents anybody that's been mentioned in Welcome to Derry already. So like Veronica Grogan is in this book, Maddie Clements is in this book, Colonel Fuller is in this book. So I did that because I wanted to see what kind of connections could be made between the characters in the book versus the characters in the show. And finally, there is a 3rd blue. Again, they all look the same, but the 3rd blue is marking anything that talks about the ritual of Chud and the Deadlights. The ritual of Chud is basically the ritual that they need to defeat it. Basically, the Deadlights are what it uses to take somebody's soul, essentially. So that can cause somebody to just go insane and be completely catatonic, so kind of like Audra is at the end of the book or in the end of the miniseries. In It 2017, we see Beverly look into the Deadlights, and she kind of just floats and she doesn't see anything. So even though like their bodies could still be physically there, their mind is somewhere else. So yeah, 1,153 pages in like a week and a half, and that's what these all mean.